Welcome back, everyone. President Obama is trying to revamp, as you remember, the student loan program, and he promises that it's going to save big money.
Because of this change, about 1.6 million Americans could see their payments go down by hundreds of dollars a month. And that includes some of the students who are here today.
But will taxpayers end up footing that bill? Joining me now, House Education and Workforce Committee Chair and Minnesota Congressman John Kline. Good to see you, Congressman, in person.
It's good to see you.
We have a little bit of the Minnesota weather here on the Northeast Coast already today.
You do.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for bringing it. Anyway, let's get to the president's plan here. I know you disagree with this student loan program, in essence, and also because it was an executive order. Why?
Right. Well, this president, this administration, has been bypassing Congress on issue after issue after issue. They've sort of famously issued hundreds of rule changes and executive orders to bypass Congress, so I think that's a mistake. Also, I just think this is a mistake. It's very confusing. I've talked to a lot of people about what the president's proposal is. It's very difficult to figure out. Some of the changes are going to affect a very small group of students. Some of them are going to affect a larger group of students. All of it is going to encourage, in fact, more borrowing, I'm afraid, and leave the taxpayers holding the bag.
So The Atlantic did a study, and it showed that, according to their calculations, students would only save $10 a month under this plan. But the bigger issue to me seems to be this higher education bubble. And I'm just looking at some facts and figures. It says since 1999, student loan debt has increased by 511%. while disposable income has only increased by 73%. So you have more and more families who simply can't afford to go to college, so they incur more and more debt. How do you see this being resolved?
Well, I think we've seen the cost of college go up and up and up, tuition and fees. The colleges and universities are going to have to face the fact that there's not an endless supply of money coming from state and federal governments. They're going to have to look at their own operating costs and start to curtail the cost of going to college. We simply can't keep providing money from the federal government in the form of subsidized or actual loans and Pell Grants when we don't have the money.
I want to talk to you about the executive orders. That is one of the privileges of the president. He can do that. But I know you believe, and all presidents do it, but you believe in this case he's going around Congress to get part of his jobs bill accomplished?
Well, I think he's been doing that, as I said earlier, on issue after issue. In this case, what he's doing with student loans, by our analysis, is technically legal, but it is a stretch for him to do this, and it was not the intent of Congress to do this at this time.
Let me ask you about some of David Axelrod, one of his chief person's comments yesterday. He said that fixing the economy is a panacea. In other words, it's a lot of these little types of things that the president is doing, like the student loan program, that will all encompass a solution to fixing the economy. And he also went on to blame Republicans, saying that Republicans are willing to tear down the economy in order to tear down the president. Your response?
Well, that's outrageous on the face of it. In fact, Congress, Republicans in Congress, have passed bill after bill after bill. We've sent at least 15 pieces of legislation over to the Senate, waiting for action from the Democrat-controlled Senate, all of which would help improve the economy and help Americans get back to work. Our view of a jobs bill is something that allows the private sector to grow. We need businesses to have confidence going into the future so that they'll take the steps to hire people. So we're taking action. We'd like the president to stop campaigning and come work with us to put Americans back to work.
Congressman John Kline, great to see you bright and early. Thanks for
coming.
It's a real
pleasure.
Okay, we'll see you again soon.
Okay.